This forum does not reflect the official opinion of the Corn Mafia Guild. Rather, it serves as a platform for members and guests to express their individual perspectives and opinions. We hope to create an environment where a variety of topics and conversations can take place, ultimately enriching the experience of our members and guests. We value and respect diverse opinions, and we encourage all to engage in respectful discourse.
Sorry for the janky music, but I had to do some last-minute editing before the show because I didn't have Scruffy in there, so I took everybody out. How's everybody doing today?
I thought it sounded different, but I also loaded in around then, so I wasn't sure if I just missed it. I was going to say, when are we going to just like tab in a little, now with more Scruff?
I don't know. I guess we could do it next time, but we
like
have
the
to.
90s cereal brand,
Yeah, well,
like we just added marshmallows to this.
What 20%?
I just wanted to let you guys know I'm feeling extra scruffy today.
Oh, nice.
You should. I just called you the marshmallows to our cereal, bro.
Right?
Like, that is a top tier compliment.
Was 30% more Scruffy.
Yeah.
What is that? Like your complete daily Scruff? What would it be? Yeah. Oh,
I'm
man.
sweet like that.
Yeah. Oh, he is. He's a sweet one. Oh, hey, a couple things before the show. I've been watching the. Well, first of all, I want to say, in 1946, I believe it was, Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis got together for the first time today. So we got that for all you young people.
Or just like
Well, clearly, come on.
For their first show.
Implied.
For their first show. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, after the show, you can imagine, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
right. I was gonna say depends on how many drinks they had. I knew they like to toss them back a little bit.
Yeah. Well, Jesus. And the UFO hearings are live today, and I've been watching it. And I had put a link in the Corn Mafia Guild general chat. It's really fascinating. We are not alone, folks. I don't believe we are alone. So.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the recap. We'll have to maybe do like a recap episode in the future after this stuff.
Yeah,
has a little more come to light.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. These two pilots and that Grush guy who was a top level Gersh, right? Who was a top level employee of the government and basically a spy at one time. So, yeah. So we got that
exciting stuff. We live in the future, you guys.
We do.
Damn right we do.
Which, by the way, while we're completely derailed, Futurama just re-aired again. They had their first episode, and it went really well. They did great.
Oh, nice. I like Futurama.
So, yeah, any Futurama fans out there, tune in.
I have to wait until there's at least a whole season because I like to binge watch shows.
And I'm normally with you, 100%. I do the same thing. I hate watching episode by episode. I'll wait till it's all there. But, of course, I had to tune in. I mean, it's... long time fan.
I thought you said Cryptorama for a second. I was like, what? All right. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's been rebooted.
You rebooted your first show?
Futurama.
It's a little out of date, isn't it?
I know. Well, we need to rebrand this show. It's a little dated now. We don't have Scruff in there.
No, it's what's in it? It's Twitter. It's Corn Mafia Twitter space. What the hell are we going to...
I freaking hate
X space.
Especially when you've already got a name.
Yeah. Right?
Well, I guess that's the end of the show, though. Let's get into it, Stein.
No. Okay. So, yeah, today we're going to be talking about COPI and CEX, the JPEG Season 1, and Twitter rebranding themselves to X. X marks the spot. X marks the spot. All right.
That was called a segue, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a segue. Yes. So, I want to hear it from one of you investor types about this COPI CEX thing, because I think it's very important. Maybe not so much for the United States, from what I gathered from our discussion yesterday. For all that you don't know, we usually have an hour discussion before the show, so we know what we're going to talk about. But I'd like one of you to take off on this, and I know you guys did videos, or maybe
Scruff did. Jeez,
Scruff did.
Man.
Well, Fryler, you work. Scruffy's retired.
I have a day job.
Scruffy just walks around his house like me all day. Jesus.
I don't think so. That dude must be pumping out videos all the time.
I was gonna say I'm not just walking around my house. I'm doing research in the background. I'm working on other things that I can't talk about just yet.
Pouring one beaker into another beaker.
Yeah, I know, right?
There's a lot of shit going on.
Jesus Christ!
There is, man.
Reporting on UFOs. He's got a lot of shit going on over there.
But yeah, I did.
365.
I was able to crank out a video. Luckily I saw the announcement right as I was kind of getting into my daily routine and thought, oh, that's what we're doing today. And it's tough, honestly. It's tough getting a video out that quickly and that early, but I felt it was important because it went live this morning just a couple of hours ago, and I wanted to make sure that everybody had the right information to be able to decide if they wanted to utilize the new CEX, if you will. It's called Ascend EX, and it's just another exchange, kind of like I don't know, Coinbase or Binance or Crypto.com or one of those guys. They don't do quite as much volume as the other ones, but it is nice that COPI got listed there. And if you live in any country outside the United States, it could be an absolute game changer, because what it allows you to do is link up your bank account and then go directly buy COPI on the same exchange. So massive time saver. Whereas before, we had a bunch of decentralized places where it was listed. And don't get me wrong, I love DeFi. I absolutely do. But it's tough when you got to onboard that fiat currency and you got to do it on another platform, and then you got to send it to your wallet, and then you got to hook that wallet up to the current exchange. So it saves a lot of steps. But as I said in the video that I did, if you're in the United States, you can't even create an account unless you use a VPN, telling them that essentially you're in Canada or Mexico or some other country. And then once you do that, then in order to link it to your bank account, you got to do KYC. And again, I didn't try it because all of my documents say that I live in the United States. And so I knew it was just going to go ahead and get denied. Not only that, but the bank I want to link it to is the United States bank. So, you can still use it, again, if you've got the VPN, but it really doesn't change the process at all. At least that was my opinion. But I'd love to hear what anybody else has thought, if you guys have tried it out or not. And maybe some people in other locations.
I haven't tried it out. But I'm worried about what's going to happen to my on ramp or our on ramps here in the U.S. I don't know what's going on with that.
I don't think anything's going to happen. I would not be worried right now, not after the Ripple case.
Okay.
It's always possible that they can make some changes. Coinbase is currently, fighting a lawsuit, but after the precedent that the Ripple case set, I'm not worried at all about any of the onboarding places.
Well, the off ramp too. If they close up that for the U.S., you better look out. You better look out there, Austria, because I'm going to be dumping all my NFTs on on Austria.
The on ramp and the off ramp are the same thing.
Yeah.
So if one's open, the other one should be open.
So I'll be selling all my assets at a loss for. We're gonna have some people being like, yeah, I'll buy all your NFTs for 20%.
Trade it for chickens.
Right? And then I'll wire it to you in the U.S.
How do you wire chickens? I guess you could tie them up with a wire, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, look, with the way crypto is and with the multi-world places, I have no doubt that you could, use VPNs, or even if you had to make a short travel to Canada or another country or Mexico or something like that, and log on somewhere and offboard it or something like. There's a way to get it on and off.
What about those Bitcoin ATMs? Is that possible? I've never used one, and there's one literally a block from me. I should probably just use it one day. But I wonder if that would be a way to off ramp if you had to.
I don't know. And I don't know also if they allow you to onboard either. I'll have to go find out if there's any in my area. I'm sure there is. And do a test run. Maybe I'll do a video on that.
You should.
Of
We'll
course.
go
Yeah.
mobile.
You
I like
should.
it.
Do it.
Friley was going to do one, but he can't right now. He's too busy.
No, I wasn't. I've had an ATM a block from my house for like over a year now. So clearly I wasn't.
I saw one at a convenience store here. So it's only like 5 minutes from me. But I was thinking about using it at one time just to test it out. But then I was like, I don't want to waste money.
Yeah, now that you say convenience store, there's one like 2 minutes from my house. Now, I remember walking by it the other day, and I just glanced at it. Good call.
Dunka. Well, what does anybody else have any thoughts on this?
I was wondering, I didn't notice it going live or anything, but did anybody notice any like good arbitrage situations this morning when it went live? Was there like a discrepancy in price between a Sendex and MinSwap?
Okay,
I don't know if anybody was there.
Well, it wouldn't matter about MinSwap because, again, it's only Binance COPI right now. They're going to add the Cardano COPI soon.
Okay.
But essentially, it would have to be a difference between PancakeSwap and Ascend EX. And trust me, I was eyeballing it because about a half an hour beforehand, I was on their mobile site, not using the mobile app, but just on their mobile website. And the price that they had listed was 5.6 cents. Now, again, it's not live yet. It's about half an hour till they open it up. And I went and I looked on PancakeSwap, and it was for about 3.78 cents, so about 3.8 cents. And I'm like, that's a big enough discrepancy to cover the fees if you're doing a large enough amount. So I went over to the trusty old computer. I logged in. I sent about 10,000 COPI over, which isn't a lot. I mean, it's maybe $300 worth or something. And I had everything at the ready. I'm watching the countdown on the computer, and boom, it goes live. And it's trading for about 3.9.
Oh, that sucks.
So unfortunately, no arbitrage opportunities that I saw. I was kind of peeping it for about the first 15 or 20 minutes, seeing if it might shoot up if they'd have a big influx of customers. But
I wonder if you can set up a script to just if there is an arbitrage situation that you can write a script just to sell by.
Probably why there wasn't one, huh?
just keep looping it around.
Out there that do that actually.
Till you got $1 million worth.
I don't know that you gotta reinvent the script, write it yourself or anything. But I think there are bots out there that do that. You tie them into an API of each website and they watch the price. But again, it's very rare that those opportunities occur. There was one back when they opened the Chainport Bridge. You guys might have remembered that. Yeah. And some people were able to get, between 10 and 50% growth out of that opportunity. So kudos to everybody who participated in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't look like that's going to happen here on this platform as of right now. Things can always change, so I'm not going to say don't keep your eye on it, but nothing today so far.
Well, in the Cornucopia's major announcement, Steve Cornpops put COPI USDT on there. So is that something that we have discussed? Because I'm not familiar with all the terminology and stuff. So
that would be the trading pair, right?
Yeah. So right now they've only. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, like, when you go to the site, they have liquidity for, like, a certain trading pair. So you can't just trade anything for COPI on the exchange right out the gate. So you have to have the USDT. But COPI Boris stepped up. Good morning, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep, coming in loud.
Welcome to the show.
Awesome. Hey, thank you. I got a question. I don't know if you guys have any insight on this, but we were talking earlier in an earlier COPI Cafe about having liquidity issues. And I was wondering if this is going to help with some of the to get some of the larger buyers in the space and not have such large slippage on the dexes. And if we're going to have a market maker that exists on this centralized exchange, as the larger orders start coming in, will the market maker start matching those in the buys and sells to try and, help with some of the larger slippages that you have on the dexes?
To be honest, I have not researched that. So, first of all, I think only time will tell, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they all have market managers in there that set the price. And they look at other exchanges, they look at the liquidity. There's lots of things I know that factor in that from when I did my research about a year and a half ago when I was just getting back into crypto.
Yeah.
I do know this. The more liquidity out there, the less slippage there is. And so I think it'll just take, more COPI being released in the market. We know there's not all of it out there yet, right? Some of it's reserved for the team, and it's just not all in circulation. Some are reserved for, dexes and sexes and things like that coming forward. So I think it'll just take time for those to level out. Now, will it be a little better on this platform than others? Very possibly. Tough to tell, but I do know that they do, roughly 200 million in a 24-hour period on their platform. So it's not chicken feed. It's not Coinbase or Binance, but it's certainly not nothing.
I wonder does the team, I mean, I don't know if they can disclose this or not, but these third party market makers, if that liquidity is provided somehow by the team, not directly purchased off the markets, you know what I mean?
That I do not know, sir.
Yeah.
Great questions, though.
Very good. Very good. Well, I think did we cover everything on that one? I think so.
Unless anybody else has any other questions about the platform.
Yeah.
Raise your hand, speak now, or forever hold your peace.
Hold your pieces. All right. Let's move on. JPEG store. This is an interesting topic. And
they just had a development this morning too. I don't know if you guys saw their announcement that they're extending season 1 through August 2 to like double check the legality of everything and just cross their T's and dot their I's.
All right. Well, let's explain what it is then. What is this season 1? What's going on here?
So JPEG is releasing their own token, and they're going to reward people for trading on the site, which they're calling like experience. So it's retroactive from like day one, any trading that you've done on the site. Now, it doesn't apply to projects that you've traded that were deemed rug pulls or like inactive projects. So that sucks for some of us. But still, it's pretty neat. They're going to be giving out a token for everyone. So, of course, if you live in the United States, they released kind of late, like a couple weeks ago, that we're not going to qualify because of, our laws and everything. So for everyone else, it's pretty cool. I'm wondering if we're going to be able to get around it with the VPN and whatnot. But yeah, anyways, so they just started season 1, which at the end of the season is when they're going to have their token generation event and pay everyone out. So that was supposed to last July, but now they've extended it into August as well. And during season 1, you also earn double experience. So all your points count double towards your total.
So this has nothing to do with the US, right? We can't use this at all? Or?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to try to use a VPN to still take advantage. It's going to depend, I guess, on how everything rolls out.
Well, and I wanted to talk about that a little too, because to me, you've kind of got two options, right? Freiler talked about the VPN option. That will depend on if they KYC or not. I don't know yet, obviously. I haven't seen anything that said they're going to KYC, so that might actually work, and I'm going to try it as well.
Yeah.
But,
sorry, continue.
No. The other thing I was going to say is worst case scenario. If you're in the U.S., just hang on to your points, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, when I read it, your XP persists over the seasons. You don't have to trade it all in this season. Ergo, if you had 10,000 XP this season, and then next season rolls around, you're going to start accumulating new XP from the time they start the season till the time they end the season. and then that XP will be added to your total XP pool. So the theory is that, hey, yeah, you're right. Maybe they don't. The U.S. rules right now don't allow us to claim them, but in 6 months or a year or 2 years from now, when regulation comes down, it's possible that you could reclaim all of that XP.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Hmm.
Another thing that's going along with that too is that they're actually rewarding the projects. So like Cornucopias is going to get kickback for all the trading that we've done with their NFTs and things like that. So that could be pretty cool. Scruffy, you also mentioned that since the Mafia has several DAOs, that those probably all accrued quite a bit of points as well. So kick back to the Mafia too.
Absolutely. I can't remember the exact numbers, although I can look up one of the wallets.
Really, I'd be interested.
Yeah, in fact, so 3 of us have sniping wallets in the DAO, right? That's KB, myself, and Ninja. And we use those to buy and sell the land, the vehicles, the domes, and such. And so let me see if I can bring up JPEG store here and attach the sniping wallet. I've got a sniping wallet and a signing wallet. So let me make sure I'm on the right one. Yes, it is. And if I do that, well, JPEG's being a little slow. Let's see. Let me refresh the page here. There it goes. Okay. Now I believe it was under, is it under profile or it might be settings?
Do 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 do.
Well, I'm trying to remember where it shows you that.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head. Oh, Kopi Boar stepping up. He may know. Maybe he's here to give a little tutorial.
There you go.
Oh, wait. Why is it saying remove? Oh, never mind. He's just muted.
Oh, that's it.
Sorry, I'm new.
Well, oh, wait. Oh, rewards. All right, here we go. All-time XP earned 64,978 XP.
That's nice.
From one wallet.
And that's actually the wallet that has probably done the middle amount. Like KB's probably done the least amount of sniping. I've probably done the second most, and Ninja's wallet is the big one. So I want to say he was around 85,000.
Nice.
XP. So I don't know what that translates into coins. I think it was 1 for every 100 or.
Anyone want to share their personal amounts? I was expecting more, but I'm only at 40K.
My current ranking for this wallet is 321 out of all of them on JPEG. So
that's pretty good.
That's not terrible.
That probably means I'm not too far off.
Still in
there could be a lot in there.
You do a lot of buying and trading on JPEG? Do you?
Me?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Good. It also
that's what I was trying to gauge. I don't know where I'm at with the community. So that's what I was interested to see what everyone else had.
Just so everyone knows, also it's saying right now double XP is live. Earn twice the XP for all trading activity to claim JPEG token at the end of the season. Let me click on that. That may give the rewards.
I wish I was doing more trading right now since it's double XP. I've done one trade, one small one this month. One sell, not a trade. But yeah.
Well, hey, let me ask you a question really quick. I had won some ADA the other day, doing a little tournament, and I want to min swap that over to COPI. I forgot how to do it.
So just go to min swap and then swap it over.
Well, how do I swap it? Where the hell's the swap button?
It's the trade. You want to click on.
Okay, trade. All right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And then select COPI.
Yeah. Select my
It's kind of
token.
funny. Like Pancake Swap calls it swap, although I think actually they call it trade too. But
I was gonna say it's called a swap when you go to click the button, but it's under the trade tab.
yeah, fix your terminology, a-hole.
Yeah, what's up with that? Yep.
Yeah, what up with that? So yeah, that's what I've been doing now. I've been
just swapping your small ADAs into COPI.
Yeah, why not? Shit.
Smart.
It's just sitting there, and COPI is doing pretty well. So
yeah,
why not? Right? It's investment into somebody else's future.
Yep. Like my son, I had him put in. He had $20, and it was a long time ago. He bought some ADA and he bought some COPI, and he has 2,500 COPI in his account. He must have put in like another $20 or something at some point. That's worth $324 right now, which is not bad for a little kid.
That's pretty good, because when it gets up to $20
or $1 a piece, even he's gonna be thrilled. So, yeah.
There we go. Swapped away. It's all swapped away. Nice. I don't have a lot of COPI, but yeah.
Just keep stacking.
Yeah, just keep stacking.
And I apologize, guys. I cannot find the conversion rate. I want to say it's either 100 or 1,000 XP equals 1 token.
Oh. Do you know how many? What's the tokenomics? Like the total number of tokens they're gonna have? They probably announced it somewhere, and I'm just not thinking of it.
I don't, but I can bring up CoinMarketCap here as well.
Smart. I could have probably done that in the time it took to ask the question. I have another question too, while we're pulling up more data. So I checked this morning. There's a guy on my Twitter timeline, and he loves to give it to JPEG Store, and he recently started like slandering the CEO for, extracting a bunch of value from the ecosystem and then leaving. And now he's saying that, like, this morning when they announced that whole setback, he's like, oh, they're trying to cover for the CEO leaving and trying to make sure he didn't leave in any like nefarious code or whatever. But I don't see any announcements from JPEG Store about that. Does anybody know if the CEO actually left?
Yes, I did see a tweet yesterday. And in fact, he said that their marketing manager or operation manager, one of the other managers, has already slid into the CEO role.
Gotcha. No mention of why the other guy left?
Blake? No.
Was it Blake?
Okay. Yeah. He did not talk about any of that. He just said he's stepping down from CEO, and so has slid into my place. And I think it's a female, and she's already been working on getting up to speed for the last few weeks, and she's now fully in the role and hitting the ground running or something like that.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, nothing to worry about there. I like JPEG Store. I think it's pretty cool. I wish I came up with that idea, but I didn't have the technical background for it. Anyways, it's like most of my ideas.
It must be really difficult, because there have been a lot of people trying to create some sort of competition to them for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they already got a pretty good track record, so
JPEG.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a long-standing history, but they got a pretty spotted history with the community, through all their different various scandals and whatever. But regardless of how I feel about JPEG Store, which I don't really have strong opinions one way or another, it would be great to see some competition in the space anyways. It sucks seeing somebody have 99% control of the market,
Yep.
Well, and I heard about one that sounded kind of promising a while and was getting kind of a lot of social media attention, called Flipper.
I own quite a few ghost chains, so I'd love to talk about them. I wish they would just put out the dang product, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought this was going to be happening, like 5 or 6 months ago, and I haven't heard word about them lately.
So they were at con. They've had a decent community for a long time. I met the guys. I shook their hands. I've seen some of the product that they have. They have like an alpha out right now, and they're supposed to be coming out with the beta soon. But yeah, it's just
if you go
development.
to flipr.io, and again, I just did a search for Cardano Flipper, and so can I guarantee this is it? No, but it looks like it's live.
It's an alpha.
Okay.
They're having issues with like listings and things like that, and they're just working through issues still before they go to beta. They previously actually launched free roam beta. I did a video on it way back then, and it was pretty cool. They're going to bring a lot of features. It's going to be a lot more than just a marketplace when they do launch. But yeah, I mean, just infinite stalls at this point is what it feels like. Even for like a holder and a long-time believer like me, it starts to get worrisome that they haven't been able to, ship the beta yet. So, what's up, Zeke?
I'll tell you this. I think it's a good time to talk about developmental delays across all projects, whether it's a game, whether it's a DEX, whether it's a trading platform, or any other software-related thing. There are always delays. And we've talked about this in the past. It always takes twice as long and it always takes twice as much money. And remember, we just got through, or I got through. We're still in a bear market, right? And hopefully towards the end of it. But the interesting thing about that is if your issue is money, the bear market obviously is no cure for that. But if you just need time to be able to develop it, that's a great time for things to start happening. But either one of those two problems can cause delays. And so I don't get quite as concerned with delays as long as I'm always seeing forward movement.
Yeah, and that is important to note. I will say that's one thing that's kept me from just, liquidating my bags with them and everything, is that they've always kept forward movement, and they do have good minting tech. I don't know if you guys have heard of Goofy Gopher's Mining Club. I've also covered them on the channel. Definitely worth checking out if you guys haven't. Not going to shill them right now though, but they minted through the Flipper minting tech, and it was relatively straightforward. Not quite as good as Cornucopias, but it was still really good. So it's always showing improvement, and they have had some good partners like them that they're working with. So yeah, great point to make, Scruff. Sorry, Zeke. Did you have something you wanted to add to that?
Oh, we were talking about, platforms and such, and JPEG definitely is the big one. There's a new one that I saw they're developing called Crasher, CRASHR, and their angle is creating more social interactions, and I feel like that's kind of one of the big lacking agents for NFT sales. Is I'd like to talk to the seller, to open up trade ideas, to open up bargaining and kind of live, haggling, if you will, rather than having to send out an offer and waiting around and that kind of thing.
Definitely.
So looks like these guys are trying to create more of a socialized aspect of it.
Yep.
And I a little bit feel like JPEG is smart enough to know that if this is what people want, they're just going to add it to their platform. Anytime they see a competitor come up with something that people are liking, they're just going to say, okay, cool, we'll make ours social as well. Because they're the big one.
I wonder why they haven't then yet, because there have been certain platforms already on Cardano that allow stuff like that. Like you can already do wallet to wallet messaging. I don't know if you guys ever saw that platform Pixel Page, but they offered a lot of the same kind of like suite of benefits that you would get through a lot of that stuff. They didn't allow like the facilitating of buying and trading, but you could get like links to that stuff. But it had all the other stuff you're talking about, the social aspect, messaging. It would give you, a wallet valuation. And that's a lot of the same stuff that Flipper's trying to bring into their new platform. So I think, like you said, we're going to see a lot of competitors bring in new innovative ideas like that. But it'd be interesting to me to see, is JPEG going to just pivot at that moment and just add it in? Or are they going to actually be proactive and start innovating themselves?
Well, and I think you bring up a very good point. All right. The more competition there is, the more that pushes platforms to innovate. And also, people, as you said, they piggyback off one another. Somebody gets a feature, somebody else is like, oh man, that's great, they're killing it. Okay, we got to introduce a similar or the same feature. And Zeke, I want to applaud you for bringing up the point of the social interaction, because I cannot tell you how many times Ninja and I, especially when we're sniping, have talked about, God, I wish I could just send this person a message to tell them a little bit about how I got to the price, or let them message me back their counter offer instead of, doing this stuff where the other thing is, I wish they would make the notifications a little more clear, like when you get an offer.
Do you have the phone app?
They should have it like eBay, just like just the same stuff as eBay does.
You get push notifications through the phone app.
I do have the phone app, but again, in order to do my wallet, I've got Eternal and I've got it set up. It's clunky because you have to go in through the Eternal browser, and then you have to open up the JPEG store in order to connect your wallet. It's clunky. It's kind of clunky. I don't like to leave it open all the time per se. And not only that, but if you're switching back and forth wallet to wallet, right? Sometimes people have multiple wallets. But I don't know the answer, but the notifications could use some improvement. But before that, being able to just message somebody. And you know what? They don't necessarily have to do the messaging on the blockchain. They could do that off chain. That could be stored in just a JPEG server, somewhere in the cloud.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think one of the challenges that they have from allowing messaging direct is people wanting to kind of take their transaction outside of JPEG to avoid fees, and going to other places like Trading Tent or somewhere where they're going to maybe save some money on that. And they have blocks they can put on that. And Airbnb is a good example of that. If somebody contacts you on Airbnb, you can't post your phone number, you can't post an email address. You have to be very careful about what you put in there, or they kind of delete that out so that you can't have those interactions. So from a logistics standpoint, if it's your platform, you want people to trade within your place, and so you're getting the fees. So that's probably one of the reasons they don't allow that, is they don't want to open it up to allowing people to take their money outside the platform.
That would make sense.
That's the thing that eBay does. I've sold almost 10,000 items on eBay. So the way they do it is, if I guess they have a bot or something that scans the text back and forth through the system, that you can't put links, you can't ask to sell outside the platform. So I guess they have some type of algorithm in there that tracks that kind of stuff. You can't leave phone numbers or anything like that. Some people try to get around it by spelling out a phone number, 2 and 1, just like you would at
spell it out phonetically.
Yeah. So, but I don't think that works very well. I have sold things off eBay in the past from people, because what you do is with it. Well, you couldn't do it here, but with well, maybe you could. I don't know if you could leave a note on your on your NFT, but the way we used to do it, I used to do it through eBay, is leave a note inside the box. Like, if you want more playing cards, contact me at my web address, and it'll be a little bit cheaper. So, that's the way I used to do it. But I don't know. You can't stop that stuff anyways. But that's all I had to say about that. Oh, and the name of the platform, Crasher, they need to change that name. That's kind of like giving yourself a nickname, Cheater, when you meet a girl. What's your name? Oh, my name's Stein, but my friends call me Cheater.
I was going to say, that Crasher, I wonder what their uptime's like.
Yeah, right?
Right.
Oh, boy. Okay. Yeah. Well, any other things on that JPEG? Because we got the last part of the show. If not, this is Twitter X time. Twitter X. I think Twitter has rebranded themselves to X. And from what I gather, I don't know if that's the name that's going to stay or he's just using the letter X to mark something
like
that
a placeholder.
Yeah.
Like he did with his son's name.
Yeah. Because I watched a couple videos on that yesterday and I thought it was pretty interesting. And that X that he uses, I think the reason he came up with that style of an X, which is the double stroke with the single stroke X going through it, single stroke to make the X
Who's having a stroke?
is because
I try to double stroke it every day.
Oh boy.
All right, we're gonna have to edit that out. This is a family show.
Because I guess it's an ASCII or something like that, or some kind of code that you can just type it in and it'll produce that X. So what do you guys think about him rebranding X after all this time? I don't think it's going to stick. Well, Meta did it.
It went really well for Meta.
Well, not only did Meta do it and fail, Google did it and failed. Does anybody call Google Alphabet? No, nobody does.
I didn't even know it was changed.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, they did that like 4 or 5 years ago. So I feel like rebranding can be done if you're early enough that you're not a household name. Once you get to be a household name, I don't think you can change your name and have it be very effective. Now, you want to change a logo. We've seen lots of companies do that. They get something similar, they maybe update it or something to the like. But
yeah,
I don't
logos.
have a problem with updating just the logo if they were still calling it Twitter. Like if they wanted to call it, say, hey, we're Twitter X now, and they wanted the logo to be an X,
yeah,
I wouldn't have a problem with it. But and as far as being a placeholder, I have no earthly idea. But yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
Well,
and I know Freiler was mentioned the other night that you might be okay with it if it was something else. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, which is interesting that it may end up just being a placeholder anyways. Yeah, I wasn't too worried about them switching away from Twitter. Like, I don't know, like Twitter. I don't know. I send out a tweet. I twit. I don't know. It just something just was always a little off to me about all that, like
well,
the birds are always yapping. So like that's what I always took from it. Is they're out there just tweeting, tweet. Shut up, bird.
Well,
so that makes sense.
Right. That's what you do on Twitter. So
Riley Murdoch from Linus Tech Tips, when he was doing Tech Quickies the other night, he was like, Twitter changed the name to X. So does that mean I don't tweet anymore? What does that mean? I X'd?
Yeah.
I X'd my X'd? I X'd my X?
That's the part where I was like, I think it could have been a better name, because how are we going to say this now again? Yeah, like, oh, I saw on X. I mean, that's not as clunky as saying, like, I sent out an X message.
Right.
Or, I don't know.
Well, I know my buddy does a lot of, little short video posts on Twitter and some longer ones. And he tweeted out, I can't wait to send a bunch of X videos to all my friends.
Right.
And yeah, some people might, if you say, hey, check out this X video, there might be some people at work that.
Yeah. Well, they rated it X for the X platform. So it's all good to go.
But it's only single X, so it's not.
Well, yeah, it didn't have to be triple X. Just could be X. Could have a lot of violence in it.
Maybe it was Vin Diesel when he was like 9.
Right. He was just an X. He wasn't triple X at the time.
He didn't get the other two yet. You have to earn those.
Yeah, he was only single X.
For the people who haven't seen the movie Triple X.
Yeah. Who else we got up here speaking? We got Pinball wants to say a couple words. Go ahead. Go ahead, Pinball.
No, I just heard that somebody talking about strokes and stroking, and then the thing that came to my mind was Clarence got it.
What the hell was that?
I stroke it to the east. I stroke it to the west.
Jesus Christ. That's funny. So, I didn't know where that came from. Shit. That's good. That's good.
Clarence caught it.
Well, Ninja didn't want to miss out on any stroking talk. So, we had to pull him up. So
Blow him up.
I don't know. I think the branding's a little late. It's kind of like, Prince. I'm going to brand myself a symbol.
But that worked out for him.
Well, it didn't.
Really,
it was
because he changed it back.
right. It didn't work.
Wait. It's
Everybody
still
made
Snoop
fun of
Lion
him.
though, right?
And
Right,
then he
but
died.
Everybody made fun of Prince after he did that.
Yeah, because it was formerly
It didn't really work out.
right.
Well, now, first of all, I believe if we go through the natural progression, I believe he first changed it to the artist formerly known as Prince. And then after that, he changed it to the symbol. And then he either changed it back to Prince or the artist formerly known as Prince. I don't know which.
I thought it was the symbol came first. The symbol
He
came
already had a
first,
ton of
I believe, and then they couldn't pronounce the symbol, so they had to say the artist formerly known as Prince because it was a unpronounceable symbol, right?
He did that because he was getting screwed by his record label, so he changed his name.
Oh, was that
to
it?
get back at them. That's why he
I
changed
mean,
it.
and that does make sense, but eventually he had to change it back because everybody knew him as Prince.
Right.
And so what Scruffy's saying here is absolutely true. Yesterday when I saw the rebranding, I thought, what? That's ridiculous. There's no way. Like, in a month from now, nobody's even going to know what X is.
Well,
They're going to be like, where's Twitter?
Yeah.
Everybody's still going to call it Twitter.
Well,
very true. That's never going to change. There's a grocery store in my town that has changed names and actual owners a dozen times. My grandparents call it by its original name. My mom calls it by the name that she knew when she was a kid, and I call it by the name that I knew, and it's actually something different now. And that's what everyone in the town does. They call it whatever they knew it as.
Oh yeah, man.
But
same here.
I was going to add in real quick. So we talked a lot about just the name change aspect of the rebrand, but they're actually doing a bunch else, right? Like they're kind of overhauling the platform, bringing in new features. Does anybody know much about that? I really haven't dived into it yet. I keep seeing that they're going to be accepting Doge possibly as payment.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm all for adding the features. I'm always about, upgrading, keeping up with the times, adding new things, new features. Generally speaking, they're not always good. Sometimes you get one and it sucks, right? And but generally speaking, I'm glad if they want to do an overhaul, a version 2.0 of Twitter, no problem with that. I'd be anxious to see what new features they're going to add.
Yeah.
It's the name, it's the branding, it's the trying to change the direction of a huge ship is so much harder than a little speedboat, right? So I just think they're gonna have problems. I really do. Let me put it this way: they may not have any problems. They may not lose users. They may still dominate the market as far as short messaging or short form messaging. However, I just don't think they're going to get people to call it anything other than Twitter. Maybe like Fryler brought up a great point, right? People that are being born right now or that are only maybe 5 or 6 years old, right? If it's X from the time that they really start interacting with the digital space and it stays X for the next 20 years, maybe those people will call it that. But anybody that's alive right now, I think will call it Twitter until their final day.
I agree. They'll keep referring to it as Twitter for a long time, I think. But in a way, I think it's almost a good thing too. Like if the platform's to grow and become something different, which like Elon bought it to keep it safe, for freedom of speech and all that stuff, which I think we really need. We need a platform that's not going to be just, incredibly centralized and edited and things like that. So it comes with its downsides, of course. I see death and pornography every day now, which I didn't used to, thanks to Twitter. But yeah, I think we still need something like that that's free from censorship. So to have it grow into something that's not just the platform it is now, I think you need a more serious name than Twitter,
Well, maybe it's just a placeholder and he's coming up with something branding.
I hope he is.
But on a side note, because go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
On a side note, they had launched that Facebook one, very similar to Twitter.
Threads?
Yeah, Threads. And from what I understand, it connects with your Instagram account. and you cannot get off that platform. Like you cannot delete your profile. If you want to delete your profile,
delete your threads, it deletes your Instagram.
Right.
So like bully people into not deleting their threads once they get it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. You know, there's just too many platforms. I mean, Christ, we know that with Corn Mafia Guild or anybody who's an influencer. It's like, yeah, okay, I got a new video that came out. Let me spend an hour going through all these different, you know, an hour is kind of a large estimate, but it's
You're not wrong though. So many of these platforms do the same thing. I've been teasing my girlfriend for like 6 months or something like that because she's always watching TikToks, right? And I'm like, would you get off the damn TikTok? Like we're doing something, you know, like she's always on TikTok. It's always distracting her. And I've been complaining about TikTok. And it was like 2 days ago, she finally said, she's like, I don't watch TikTok. I'm like, yeah, you do. I look at your phone. I see you doing it all the time. She's like, no, I'm watching Snapchat shorts. I'm like, what? It's like the same exact format, the exact same thing.
Well, yeah,
video after video.
I do Instagram shorts, and a lot of those are branded with the TikTok logo right on them. People just...
Yeah, see, that's why I was confused, because it literally says, "Dong," in the little TikTok thing, and I'm like, yeah. I thought you were freaking watching TikTok.
Yeah, I didn't get TikTok on my phone just because of the tracking shit from China.
I can't believe that stuff took off. The original TikTok commercials, I don't know if you guys saw them, but they were so cringe. It'd be like an 11-year-old girl dancing, and you could see like the text on the screen of like guys like just being like gorgeous, heart, 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 and all this stuff. And it's like, ugh,
oh yeah,
who wants their young children dancing for strangers on the internet? And how is this a commercial? I'm like, this isn't going to go anywhere.
I don't know.
Lo and behold,
right? Lo and behold, we got 12-year-old millionaires.
Going back to the Twitter rebrand, the one thing I will say is it's got people talking about Twitter again.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about it right now. News outlets wrote stories about it. It's big news one way or the other. So if you're just looking to get a bunch of attention, you know, especially if they're talking about, you know, overhaul and everything, I think that they probably should have done this once they overhauled the platform. And then, you know, you get all the news stories, you get people going, oh man, I hadn't been on Twitter in a while. Let me go check it out. And it's all brand new stuff. So that could be a misstep. But we'll see how it all plays out. They are certainly getting some coverage out of it.
Well, I found out about it. I was going to tell you guys this the other day. I found out that there was something different because they didn't put the logo up in the corner yet. But when I used my browser to click on Twitter, it came up with an X, like in gray on my black background because I have everything in dark mode.
You're like, am I on the right site?
Right.
I
was like, what?
Site?
I was like, what was that? And then I tried to redo it to find out if it did it again by pressing refresh, but it won't do it until you close out your browser and then open it back up. So you have to clear out the cache, I guess, on it. So I thought that was very interesting. I didn't know what that X was, and then I read something on Twitter that they were changing to X. But hey, Elon's good at branding stuff. He's doing something.
I was going to say, I don't know if he's good at the rebranding, but like Scruffy pointed out, he's definitely good at garnering attention for things, which I'm hoping the X is a placeholder and they come out with something cooler like they did with his son's name. I mean, cooler is objective, but they did the exact same thing. You know, they put it up as X, they let everyone talk about how dumb it was, and then they came out and told us his real name later. So I think it's a good idea to build that hype. I remember one thing I wish that they still did with cornucopias. Remember the first bubble jet when it was like draped in that, you know, like red silk or whatever, and we didn't know what the exact shape was going to be under it yet. I felt like that was like a really powerful tool for like getting your imagination going and really being interested in that next vehicle. I think it's almost like a missed opportunity with some of the other ones. Maybe not, because they've got so much to worry about besides making some animation that's never going to be used again. But I don't know. It just got me so excited to see what was underneath, you know, that fabric. And if they would have done that with like the Bonanza OG and stuff, I would have just like, you know, I would have been way more immersed and like just really excited for the unveiling.
That's why when I go on dates, I wear a pair of pants.
Bryler, just to your point, you know, we didn't know the colors of the OG until they were sent to our wallets, pretty much. So
yeah, for sure. We were
completely
completely left in the dark.
You know.
But yeah, you're right. I think having that visual teaser of some sort,
Something's coming. What is
not
it?
just omit something, but actually show us a silhouette or an outline or some sort of teaser to get your brain just pumping about what could be under there. I absolutely think that builds hype, and maybe that's what they're doing here, right? Maybe that's exactly what they're doing here. They're coming out saying, "Hey, something big's coming. We're we're relabeling it X right now," and then once they do the retool and they have version 2.0 Twitter out, they're going to change it to some other name, and we're all going to be like,
the X could just be a the drape, the fabric
What if
over.
they literally change it to Twitter X like Scruffy said?
Yeah, hey. On a side note, from what Scruffy was saying, do you think it's bad to put a pair of rolled up socks in your underwear when you go on a date? I just wondering.
I think that's considered false advertising.
Oh, well,
that's a rug pull.
Is it?
Don't endorse that.
Well, I don't know.
How would you feel if your date pulled out their socks and you were like, "Oh, great, this guy's not packing at all"?
I know. What the hell?
Jeez.
I was hoping for a big one. What I got here?
I see what you did there.
I see what you did there too, and I went right along with it because that's the kind of man I am. Oh,
yeah.
I want to know.
Lucy saw what you did there also.
I know, right? She's all upset. She's like, "Woohoo!"
Sounds like a dog's dying. What's happening?
Oh no! Don't say that. Jeez.
No, your voice, not Lucy. Not Lucy. You're singing, Stein.
Woohoo! Well, 4 minutes left in today's program.
Vamp
it. No, I'm not vamping. No, not vamping. I don't have the chops for it. But we had some pretty good discussions this week. Hopefully next week we can come up with something just as scrumptious. It's kind of hard to come up with unless something major is going on. It's really hard to come up with some topics for these Twitter Spaces. But we've been doing a pretty good job. I think we've done 23 Twitter Spaces now, so that's pretty good. It's almost half a year,
right?
Yeah. From my calculations, yeah, on the Roman calendar that I use. So
just check my sundial, and that is accurate.
Nice. Well, any finals?
I would check my Mayan calendar, but I had to throw that out a few years ago.
Oh no! Come on, that was made by UFOs.
Well, yeah, you threw that out about 2014.
Yeah.
Something like that, 2012.
Yeah, 2012 is the year, man.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
See, 3:00. The choppers are coming to get me. I can hear them outside.
Oh, that's funny. I got choppers flying over my house too. Maybe it's a coordinated effort. Fryler, go check your house.
I know.
Oh no, they're airdropping the COPI game. You guys, we got to go.
Oh Jesus Christ. Oh boy.
No.
You guys are nuts. 3 minutes left. Fryler, Scruffy, anything to say to our wonderful audience out there?
As always, appreciate you guys having a chance to spend your day as Eric just gets in here.
I was gonna say Eric finally made it. We can end the show.
Nice.
Jeez.
Yep.
He almost
Eric's here.
It, I wasn't gonna have it.
We gotta go
Hello,
now.
Eric. Glad for you to join us. Oh, sorry, we gotta go.
Yeah, Eric just jumped in. We gotta get the hell out of here, man. We can't have Eric in here.
Probably in like a work meeting.
I know.
Probably so. No, I just always appreciate everybody that comes out. I realize you guys got other things to do, and to sit and to listen to us three jackholes yak about world topics, cornucopias, crypto, marketplaces, and all that good stuff. It's it's a testament.
And don't forget Clarence Carter.
And Clarence Carter.
Oh Jesus, Clarence Carter.
Oh shit, Clarence Carter.
This must be one of the weirdest ones I've had.
You say that every single
Well, I don't know what it is, but in my mind, that's my short retention span. That's my short retention span.
Yeah, I don't remember the title of it, but you did one like 3 or 4 weeks ago that I was like, oh my God.
Well,
yeah, I'm not going to bring them up, but we've had some weird ones.
Yeah, we did the UFO ones.
That's not on my list.
No, because that one didn't go live. I didn't record that one. So
you were asking KB about a bunch of science stuff, but not like real science stuff, like strange.
Oh, time travel.
Yeah, that one too.
Yeah. And are we living in a simulation? Yeah.
Yeah, those were good ones. Yeah.
I think peeing in the shower was the weird one for me.
Peeing in the shower.
Yeah, that was where you lost me. I don't think you took your meds that day.
Oh man.
You know what? One of these weeks, maybe we'll have to go back through those and chop up some of the weirdest moments.
Do a clips episode.
I think that
do an
that
hour
or something.
worth of weirdest clips.
Yeah, that would be good. Probably at the end of the year, we'll do that. At the end of the year.
I like it. We'll do that for our final show in 2023.
Well, that's good because what I'll end up doing is sending each one of you a third of the recordings, and you'll have to chop it up because I'm not gonna listen to 50 hours or 60 hours of freaking my dumb ass talking.
Aliens and testicles and
not with the 90 dumbass hours of other shit you watch on YouTube a day.
Quiet now. Quiet.
Hey, that's a leak.
Yeah, that's a leak.
Corn Mafia Guild Twitter Space with your hosts, Stein and Freiler. Please join us every Wednesday at the same time, 5 p.m. UTC.
Thanks, everybody.
We would like to thank all of our guests for their insights and input on today's topics. We also would like to thank all of you, our listeners, for taking time out from your busy day to join us. A full audio version of this conversation will be provided on our YouTube channel. You can find out more about the Corn Mafia Guild at our website, cornmafiaguild.io. So, until next week, thank you again, and have a great day.